BYU credit. They came and played. We knew they were going to had a team that played extremely hard, and they certainly did. Took care. They took care of the ball a little bit better than us, and they certainly were better in the penalty area. And want to give them credit. They played a good football game, and we've got a lot of things to clean up. They exposed us a little bit with their pass rush, and not necessarily bringing extra, just with their ends. And certainly the penalties, we've got to get a handle on that.
Sam, I know it was fourth and real short, but when you went for it at the 50 there in the third quarter, last week you said the Sam Analytics said, not to do that.
Not from the 48, from the 49-yard line, but from I was talking about the 35. I thought we could get it, and I went for it. Obviously, we didn't.
They outscored you 17-zip after that. How much do you think that swung the momentum, maybe?
I really don't know. It's hard to say because, I guess we can say that all the points after that came because of that play, but I know 3 of them came off of that play. I don't know that the other 14 did. I don't know who's to know, but I know 3 of them did.
Sam, you can talk about that final drive. You guys had, I think, 5 penalties on the final drive. I think they accepted 4 of them, though. What was going on? And why do you think the offensive line was having so much trouble?
They were all holding penalties. Well, no, they wasn't. We jumped off sides on one of them as well, but the rest of them were holding penalties. And when Chamblee went down, we'd moved Brady out to tackle and moved. Well, we moved Chamblee over to begin with because Kudus had gotten hurt, and then Chamblee went down. Kudus came back out there, but we weren't moving our feet. We were getting on edge, and they bowled us, a lot of the game. And then when you're setting for a bowl, sometimes you're susceptible for an inside move, and that's what happened. And we were holding them.
Defense played, 281 yards, which is surprising with the 38 points. Just your thoughts on you talked about that 4th down call at midfield. It seemed like you guys had a lot of momentum. Defense is playing well. Do you feel like that was a big momentum swing in the game? Obviously, that seems to be where things kind of turned for you.
Well, I guess I've been asked twice, so I guess the answer is yes. But I didn't. We were up 14-0, and they went up 21-0 in the first half, and I don't think it was because we went for it on 4th down. So, I think that they were making 3rd and longs, and we couldn't get them off the field. But if I had to do again, I wouldn't go for it on 4th down. Obviously, we didn't make it.
Sam, you talked about the pass pro issues. Just was there anything BYU was doing that surprised you at all, or just kind of what was the issue there?
No, not at all. There wasn't any blitzes that we weren't ready for. It wasn't a blitz fest. They pounded gaps when we was trying to run the football. They whipped us. That's what happened out on the edge. And we started chipping them and all those type things. And going into the game, we really didn't feel like we would need to chip out there and things that we could get our back out in the route and all that. But they proved that they were longer, stronger than what we anticipated on watching film-wise, and they got after us.
And also, is there a strategic or maybe X's and O's reason for KJ on 4th and 1 to not go like under center or something?
That's the 3rd question that I've been asked on that. I think I've already answered the question.
I just think a lot of fans have asked, on 4th and 1, you got a quarterback that size.
I've answered the question.
And 2 for 13 on 3rd down tonight. What did you think the issues were there on that down?
Well, some of it had to do with distance. Some of them had to do with the percentage of we were losing 1st down, so we're behind the sticks. Obviously, there was a few drops, and we had some pressure. And the pressure that BYU gave us tonight was really probably the difference in the game as far as playing the game. I just thought they were all over us, and it wasn't necessarily a blitz fest, and so I think that affected us big time on third down.
Same. You had another 4th and 1, down. And you were set
we were
to
going to go for it.
Yeah, and then you get the penalty. How tough is that? Because you feel like you're down 7, you got to keep the drive going.
The only problem there was if we go for it and we don't make it there, the game's over. And I did have the 3 timeouts, so that was a conversation that we had. And Dan and them thought they could, thought we could get it. But we were very, very concerned about running the sneak because they were jumping bear. They had all our the guards in the center. And it's easy to say that you got a big quarterback and you can go get a first down. But if they're in bear and they're plugging A gaps, they basically would have 5 guys in there for your 3. So, but yeah, we jumped off sides on that one.
And then your next 4, well documented, away from home. Just how tough is it to lose this one with what you got coming up?
Well, it's hard to lose any time, especially because the crowd was so great and the hog walk was so great and the people were loud, and we're disappointed the home fans. That they're all hard to lose, but I don't really look at it as a 4-game stretch on the road and all that. LSU, as we all saw, played really well today, and we've got our work cut out for us. But we'll be ready to play when we go down there. But LSU next one that night, and obviously it's hard to go into Baton Rouge.
For Brady, who holds himself to such a high standard, how does he mentally turn the page from this?
Oh, I think he'll be fine. We asked him to move out there. Devin Manuel just hasn't been healthy. And got a stinger, and we keep thinking that he's going to get back, and so we made a decision on Thursday that's we played Brady on Tuesday and Wednesday at left tackle just to make sure, because I didn't know if Dev would be able to play, but he'll be fine. He'll bounce back from it. He's won a lot of games here and been a great player for us, and he'll bounce back. He wasn't the reason we lost the game tonight. He'll be fine.
Coach, I noticed you started Snacks and Jalen Braxton at corner tonight. What went into that? And you also rotated guys there at those spots.
I just thought they practiced the best. We didn't practice as well at corner on Tuesday. We made the decision that we need to be a little bit better there. So Braxton had earned that right, and we thought we might be a little bit better putting Snacks at corner and having Hud play, obviously a safety and a hog.
And Kingston, number 82 for them. I went back and looked. He hadn't played much the first 2 games, but he had a touchdown pass, caught a touchdown. Did it surprise you a little bit with what he was able to do for them?
Well, he's a good kickoff return guy, so I knew that he had a lot of talent. We were nervous about him there, but he made some really good players on us, and the little screen, I believe that they threw it to him. The little throwback screen was, it was a great call, and there really wasn't nobody in front of him, to be honest with you.
Y'all scored so quick on that. Okay, good. Okay, y'all scored so quick on the long run by Green and the punt returns, 14-zip. Do you think? I know you didn't think this, but do you think there was a feeling on the team that, hey, this is going to be easy?
I don't think so. I told the team at halftime, thank the Lord for adversity, because we had it in the first half, and then we came back and went up 3, and I don't. BYU played a really good game. They played a physical game on us. We've got a lot of work to do, but they did a better job with it than we did, because they were in it too. They were down 14, down 10, all this kind of stuff, and came back and won the game. So, but I thought at halftime we were in good shape and came out and, obviously 3 and out and went and scored, and then stopped them again, had the ball, didn't make it on 4th and 1, and then they went down, kicked a field goal, and then after that we're down They scored 14 in a row. We threw a pick. So
you got some good leaders on this team, like KJ and the older guys. What was your message to the team, and how do you think y'all will bounce back from that?
Well, we played hard. I mean, we played hard. We just didn't play smart. So we've got to do a better job of playing smart. Got to do a better job of holding on to football. You know, we had 2 turnovers, and we haven't had any all year. You know, and that's credit to BYU. They're knocking it out, and they're in passing lanes and all those kind of things. But that's 2 more turnovers than we've had all year. We missed a field goal. You know, we hadn't had an opportunity to kick one. You know, so just a few uncharacteristic things went on today that's my responsibility to get fixed.
We've asked you a lot of offensive line questions today too, I know, but you have talked about going back to the spring, you know, some issues at tackle and, you know, pass protection stuff. Is this something that you feel like you can fix this season, or is it something that you're going to have to adjust what the game plan is?
Well, first of all, I think the kids from BYU are pretty good. I think they're pretty good football players. You know, yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got some hands issues and things of that nature. I'm not talking about placement of hands. I'm talking about we've got, you know, 2 of our 5 linemen are casted up pretty good. So we've got some hand issues that we've got to fix because it's hard to, you know, grab. I know everybody say, well, you grab because you had holdings, but you understand what I'm saying. It's hard to get a feel in there. I'm not overly panicked. We're just going to have chip. We're going to have some help. We're going to have some tight ends help, especially when we continue to go into teams like BYU and continue to go into the SEC.
You guys had a lot of first down runs up the middle and not getting a whole lot of yards, but was you thinking you eventually just kind of soften them up over
You know, I think we went into the game thinking that if we could get 3 or 4 yards, we were trying to get 4. And if we get 3 or 4 yards that we could, you know, eventually break. And we were just trying not to go negative on first down. You know, we were trying to get 3, 4, you know. Obviously, we think 4 yards on first down is a good play for us. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. You know, we for whatever reason, if we pull right now on a stretch play, it seems like we're going to lose a couple of yards or we're going to get 12. You know, it just kind of one way that's a feast or famine play for us. And actually, AJ's first run was just a full zone stretch play like what we ran all last year. But we felt like we could run the ball inside is why we were running it in there.
Defense only gave up 281 yards, but 38 points on the board. What did you think about the defense overall?
Well, just too many mistakes. You know, they had some guys wide open. It's one thing to get beat because you got 2 good players out there. It's another thing to not cover a guy. And obviously their first score, the trick play, we lost the tight end, completely lost him. And obviously on their little screen that they had run back, we didn't have anybody on him. So we've got to do a better job of assignment football over there. But again, they played hard. They tackled for the most part. We had a couple of BYU made us miss in open space a couple times, big third downs. So we've got to improve there as well.
Yes, Sam, there was the fumble y'all recovered just before the half. There was an unsportsmanlike penalty. Did you get an explanation on what happened on that?
They said that our kids were trying to go into the stands, and so I don't know if they were or not, but they said that they had told them not to jump in the stands, and they didn't tell me if they jumped in or not, but I don't think so. But that's what they told me.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
guys, I guess what you guys had double-digit leads twice. I know BYU had a couple short fields there on the fourth down when they didn't get when y'all didn't get the fourth down and after the pick. But just kind of what do you think BYU was doing to put up all those points?
Man, they were executing on every time we made a mistake. They came back and executed. We got to be able to put teams out when we get up, and that's not what we did today. We got to play a better game all three phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And that was definitely not our best day of ball, and that's not what we like to showcase for our program.
Yeah, mainly just what Landon said, man. We just got to play our brand of football all 4 quarters. It's like every time we made a mistake, they capitalized. We can't let that happen defensively. We can't let the mistakes happen offensively. We play hard, but we just got to play smarter, like Coach Pitt said.
You guys got a tough stretch coming up. 4 games, none of them are here against really good teams. Just how tough a loss was this? And how do you think you guys bounce back from this with what you got coming up?
We just learn from this experience right here. We just move on. We take the loss and move on. We know that we didn't play our brand, like I said earlier, but we on the LSU, and that's our top priority now. So just getting ready for that game. Just getting ready for next Saturday in Baton Rouge.
I mean, I guess you look at this stat sheet. BYU's only got 281 yards of offense, but 38 points to show for it. What do you make of that?
Just go back to what we said. Just them capitalizing off mistakes. We gave them short yardage opportunities, and they, like I said, they capitalized and things like that. We just can't let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, they got momentum, and we got to kill the momentum. We didn't do that today. We allowed them to get momentum and drive it down our throat, and that's not our brand of football at all. And, I mean, they capitalized when they were supposed to, and we didn't.
For either of you, I think they were only 4 of 13 on third down, which isn't terrible for y'all, but the 2 of them were on that their game-winning touchdown drive. I think they converted a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. Just how frustrating is that you couldn't get off the field on that drive?
Yeah, I mean, I put that on the D-line. We got to get to the quarterback. We ran one call where I thought we were going to get to him, but we didn't. And another one of the plays is on me. I was a spy player, and I let him get a little bit too much. So, I mean, our D-line has to capitalize on those third down situations.
It's a couple of weeks in a row that y'all have been put in tough spots because of fourth down decisions. Just how difficult is it as a unit to continue to rally together?
Man, like I said previously, when they get momentum, we got to kill it. That's what our defensive coaches stress to us. There's going to be ups and downs of the game, and whenever they're up, we got to bring them right back down. We can't let them keep flowing off their positivities, because that's how a team gets momentum. I mean, and at this level of football, it's a game of momentum. So we got to kill it before. I mean, we were up by 10. We got to score more. We got to stop them when they get the ball back. And I mean, I mean, we just got to capitalize on their mistakes.
Chris, did you get held at all today?
I mean, I did, but it's my job to get off those blocks. I take full accountability for those. It's my job to get there and make those plays as one of the leaders on the defense and things like that. And it's just, just playing fast, continuing to play fast. We're going to have adversity in games. That's just football. And no matter how good you are, you're going to have adversity. Yeah. It's how you respond to that adversity, the outcome, give you the outcome that you want. So,
what did they do offensively that gave you guys so many problems?
They, really, if I'm being honest, they just, when they got the ball, it kind of seemed like they wanted it a little bit more, and we can't allow that. If I'm just being honest, they just wanted it more than us, and they capitalized. But like I said, it's on to the next. We know what we did. We know we need to work on. Come Monday, we back on it.
For both of you guys, how's the team morale? Like, what's the post-game locker room like, and what's the attitude, I guess, going to
Man, I think we've been pretty positive in there. You got guys like me, Pooh, KJ, everybody walking around like, hey, we're good. We can't let this affect the rest of our season. We got to bounce back, and one game doesn't define the SEC, So we go into Death Valley next week to play a really solid LSU team, and we got to have a great week of practice and bounce back.
And like he said, we just can't let one loss define us. Man, we got 9 more games, and this 4-game stretch right here is gonna be tough. We cannot let a loss to a great team like this affect the rest of the season. We can't just carry that over to LSU and then carry it over to the next opponent. So that ain't gonna work like that. You gotta flesh your next play mentality. Go out there and you play your best brand of football next week.
You know, you guys took that quick 14-0 lead. They came back and retook the lead, and then a lot of momentum swings. And then y'all were up by 10. Were you guys feeling pretty good, or you just feel like, well, hey, we got to knock these guys out, you know?
Yeah, that's on the defense. Early in the game, we get up 14-0. We can't allow them to get back in the game like that. So, I mean, we gotta shut it down early. We were playing I guess we weren't really attacking them as much as we should have. We were kind of sitting back and waiting for something to happen instead of going to make plays. And, I put that on the defense.
Yeah, and that all goes back to what I said earlier, man. Is one thing that I like about T. Will, he always say E plus R equals O.
Yep.
The event is always gonna be an event, good or bad, no matter what's going on. Your response is how you gonna get through whatever you're going through at the time. And, you know, like I said, it's just going to give us an outcome. I don't feel like we didn't have a good response to some of the things that they brought out, but that's just a learning experience for the next upcoming games.
And Len, you mentioned Death Valley. I know it's hard to turn the page for tonight probably, but you're going to be going back to LSU. Do you have any initial thoughts on that?
Man, go into it like it's any other game, you know. I can't make it bigger than what it is, you know. I mean, they're a SEC opponent. We got to go in there, shut them down defensively, and then put points up on the board.
Good job, fellas. Thank you.
I guess for both of y'all, you guys had double-digit leads twice, and 31 points, it was not bad. But what do you think happened to where they kind of were able to stop you guys from scoring there in the second half?
I just think we just fell out of a rhythm, really. We tried to get things going again, and we got a little bit of a tempo, but we just kept it was just too many mistakes on our end of the ball.
I mean, like AJ said, I feel like we made a lot of mistakes, and, you know, in football, stuff isn't always going to go your way, and today it just didn't go our way. You know, they capitalized off our mistakes, and, you know, kudos to them for that.
AJ, what did you see on it's? We haven't seen an explosive run play the first 2 games. You got one right out the gate. Just what did you see on that play?
I mean, we got some good blocks, and this week we emphasized getting up to the next level in the run game with our blocks, and that's exactly what happened in that second run, and I was able to break for it.
Isaiah, you had the long punt return. Just what did you see on that play? How did that play unfold in front of you?
I mean, he outkicked his coverage, and, I mean, we knew all week that he was going to do that. So, I mean, my guys blocked it up perfectly. Manny Powell, he had a great block, and, you know, all I had to do was run.
That was a tough loss, but you got 4 really tough games here, none of them in Fayetteville coming up. Just how tough was this one, and then how do you guys respond, do you think, with this tough stretch y'all have come back? Maybe AJ, you could take that first.
I mean, obviously, yeah, this game was tough, but like I said, we made too many mistakes, and those are things we're going to get to fixing, like, as soon as we get out of here. So, I mean, these next few games are going to be tough as well, but we're not going to make those same mistakes. So, I mean, we can still make it a good game for the next 4 games that we have.
You know, just take stuff week by week. We got LSU, that's all we're focused on. We're not focused on the other teams right now. And, you know, we just need to clean up mistakes and just play our brand of football. We'll be good.
And the 4th down play at midfield, how do you think that swung momentum looking back on it? Because BYU ended up out – now they only got a field goal off that possession, but they ended up outscoring y'all 17-0. Did you feel like a big momentum swing when they stopped y'all there? Maybe AJ, you could take that first.
I mean, it was like it was a good thing for them, but I didn't really feel the momentum shift at that moment because I felt like we were still playing like super hard as a team. And as soon as we lost the next drive from more mistakes, then they went off and scored. Then that's when I felt the momentum change.
I mean, it's never a good thing to not get a fourth down conversion. And obviously, if we would have got that, maybe things would have been different. But, you know, it's just part of the game.
AJ, you only had 9 carries today. Just how do you feel physically? Did you think you had some more in the tank there for in the fourth quarter?
I definitely did, but I mean, we just had other looks. Like, and the defense was playing great on the run, and we just had other plans. I mean, we didn't really think about just running the ball. We were just trying to get down and score at that point. So that wasn't really anything that was running through my mind, but I just wish we went down and won the game.
Yeah, I don't think any of the penalties were called on you two specifically, but a lot of offensive penalties, you know, that negated big plays, put you all pretty far behind the chains. Just how tough was it to overcome those penalties?
It was tough for our offense because once we were getting momentum and getting our tempo and playing fast like we usually do, and then a penalty would stop our momentum and we have to slow everything down just to get set back up and move the ball back. That just kills our momentum, like I said. When we're able to just run the ball and get down, run the next play, throw the ball out, get down, run the next play, it kills teams because they never have enough time to get set up and know what's coming and be prepared for it.
AJ, you were here last year when y'all won in Provo. What were they doing differently this year on defense that was giving y'all more problems?
I would say it was just I feel like some of those players like have more experience now and they knew more about us. I felt like they took us more serious than they did last year and they came ready for this game.
Isaiah, did you want to weigh in on that penalty question about how tough it was to overcome those?
I mean, I feel like penalties hurt us in the second half every time. I mean, I felt like every time we had a big play, it got called back. So we just got to clean that up, move on, and learn from it.
Oh, Sam, he's by nature a pretty positive guy, I think. What was his message to y'all after the game?
I mean, we all knew we should have won that game. And, you know, I feel like penalties is one of the things that kind of hurt us. And, I mean, he was just telling us we need to play smarter ball. And, you know, we played hard. So we just got to clean up our mistakes.
For either of you, it seemed like Luke has had a pretty big game for y'all, kind of his coming out party. Just what did y'all think of his performance?
I think that's definitely going to be a weapon that we need to tap in more on because it's just going to open up more for our passing game because people are going to actually have to cover a tight end, which is not really like something that's usually done a lot. And like I said, it'll open up more for passing game and running game, really.
I mean, everybody on the team knows what Luke's capable of. He just has to show it to the world right now. I mean, we've seen him in practice make some crazy catches, and, you know, he's going to have a big year this year for us.